way that this camera's way too big for the batteries.
Yeah, so, makes sense. Cool.
So yeah, but we'll go up until it doesn't. So the first question is obviously to introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name's Payal Mistry. I am a actor as well as a model, and that's it. I don't really know what to say. 23 years old. I'm based in Manchester right now, and life is good.
Oh, I like the life is good bit. That's nice.
I don't know what to say.
No, I feel like that's comforting to know that life is good.
Yeah.
So, we've spent all day together.
Yeah.
I think this is what this will Why have you took us here today?
I love rock climbing. It's probably my favourite sport. Jimmy actually introduced it to me. I haven't climbed ever.
Nice.
It's just a really fun way to get fit.
It's a great way to stay safe.
Oh gosh, so I really got into it when I was in school. I never went through the whole when I was a kid. I went to singing club, I did dancing, I've been doing it my entire life. I wasn't brought up into this kind of world until drama happened in school. And it was a very, it was the kind of subject which I was kind of really anxious about, didn't really know how to feel about it. It made me feel really good and warm inside, but it was very separate to what I knew at the time. And when it came to GCSE, it was my fourth option, meaning I didn't end up getting it, which kind of broke my heart a little bit. But at the same time, like at that moment, I was like, it's not a future, it's not a viable career plan. It's fine, which is really ironic right now. But there was a musical happening in year 10, auditioned for that, and that was the first time I actually stepped outside my comfort zone. Realised after that was the thing I really wanted to get into. So went to college, decided to do performing arts, and my lecturer at the time went to UCLan. So she told me about Terence and biomechanics, and I had no idea of any of it, but she sold me, and I auditioned. It was the last place I auditioned, and that's how I kind of got in. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. And then so that process happened, and that's obviously where we met.
Yeah.
And then, like you just said, you're in Manchester. So how is it going now? Where are you up to in your life in terms of acting? What does it look like?
It's looking promising. I've had amazing auditions, 2 that have got me to the final round, and which I didn't end up getting. But for that exact reason, it's kind of made me feel that could be a possibility. But right now, I'm kind of just seeing where things take me. I'm modelling as well, I'm doing shoots, I'm meeting a lot of people, I'm just kind of going from one job to another. And I really enjoy that, especially in Manchester, because a lot of places where shoots kind of take place are either in the northwest or somewhere nearby, somewhere that I will never go to. So I just love that, being able to model and act is able to take me to these areas, like I'm able to travel and network with different people.
Yeah, and meet people. That's what it's like. It always looks fun on your Instagram when you're on a shoot. And you're
yeah.
Just like, what made you choose Manchester?
I mean, for me personally, it was easier than London. London's very expensive. I feel like I could get the same kind of feel with London here.
Yeah.
Everything's here, everything's local. There's so many niche little places. Northern Quarter itself, like there's so many lovely coffee places. Like places like Magma, like unfortunately it has shut down, but it's one of like our both favourite places to go. And these small, like, independent traders, you don't normally get to see anywhere else. But it's, I don't know, it's a very tight.
It's a very like actor thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
To move to Manchester. You're obviously our night school feature in the magazine, our first one, and so I'm interested in not talking about it and hearing, like, from your point of view, if you describe in the night school and kind of where it started for you and what has happened for you, because a lot of people have had different journeys with it. What is that like?
Well, to be fair, I mean, I finished uni and straight away went into this kind of industry where it, don't exactly want to call it a rigid lifestyle, but is in the sense of going from one place to another, which I do end up liking. It's not for everyone, but it works for me. But because of that, I've kind of lost my creative juices, and I've not been able to kind of express myself in my work, be able to create something, you know, I kind of lost that. And the night school for me has had a massive impact because, I mean, for starters, it's been quite liberating because I was able to showcase kind of my work that I would have necessarily never have done. Like my first thing was a painting, you know, hadn't painted for ages, and I was like, oh, view outside my window, like what am I going to do with that? And I just thought, forget it, like I'm just going to paint something, whatever comes to my mind. And that was such a fun task for me to do. I would have never done that if that stimulus hadn't been given to me. But it's been interesting because I'm actually challenging myself in what I can do and what I'm capable of. And also being confident in the fact that if I fail, it's okay. And I think that's the most important bit. The first few sessions, I was incredibly anxious. I was sweating. I was nervous to show any of my material because realistically, you don't normally put any of your stuff on unless it's, I don't know, unless you are, you know, part of a company or, you know, you are devising something.
And I guess, like, what's good about it still, I was like saying what was good about it, like it's not, no, it's still going, people can sign up, but what's good about it is that it is just, and it's cliche to say, but it is just a community, isn't it? It has become an almost social, therapeutic thing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it wasn't supposed to start. Like I'd had the idea for it. It wasn't like an impromptu thing. I had the idea for it, and I was going to start it when the world was normal and we were allowed to be in rooms together.
Yeah.
But what happened was I was having conversations with like friends and like creatives and colleagues and just people who I admire and stay in touch with because that's the kind of person I am. And they was just all so sad. They were all so sad and not doing anything that they wanted to do, and I just thought, like, okay, the world might have had enough of sick of Zoom calls, but I feel like I can do a good Zoom call. So
honestly, and I think it's benefited so many people. I mean, just seeing the smiles on people's faces every Thursday in the evening, like it's actually so like just nice, so like warming, but it's definitely made a massive positive impact on my life.
And that was the intention. So sometimes it feels a bit like has it done that? And like I'm an anxious person, so I always just second guess myself. I come off every Zoom call and I'm like, I come off every Zoom call and I'm like, oh my god, what did I was that even a thing? Like, but I do always come off buzzing as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone's just dead happy.
Yeah.
When we're showing stuff,
for sure.
Nice,
It's nice to talk to people that you wouldn't normally talk to. Yeah.
Still talking on the night school in terms of your work. So obviously we just spoke about the social aspects and the therapeutic aspect of it.
Yeah.
But your work, especially as someone who is an actor and maybe isn't necessarily, you have spoke about wanting to turn stuff and write stuff in the future into your own work, but it seems like your passion is working on other projects still and wanting to be an actor, auditioning and being out there.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's not what I've seen, obviously, recently, because the night school has been like you making amazing stuff, which is why like we wanted to interview you. So, is there anything that stands out, or anything like even just some of the skills that you've learned and things like that you just maybe want to talk about?
I'd want to say editing skills for a start. Something I never really did. And, you know, that was an experience for me. And that was a skill that I've actually learned and something that I could do in the future, especially with the mockumentary I made. And that in itself, so that mockumentary, I had no real plan. I kind of just decided, this is what I want to do. I kind of want to make a comedy because I don't normally make comedies, but I don't think I'm a funny person. Like, I'm not witty. I don't have these certain qualities that other people have that can make an entire room, you know, just laugh. So I just, in my head, I was like, well, what quality do I have that can make me stand out? And it's just, I don't know, I think I have funny reactions, and I don't know, I'm just funny in my own way, and I kind of emphasise that, and that's where the mockumentary kind of came about.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made it really good, because I was able to make a character of that, but also kind of just be myself. And
I need to show a part of it. Why that's so funny that you were being yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But that was so fun because I've not done that at all. Like, I've never had the experience to do anything of that sort. So to be able to be in a position where I was able to make whatever I wanted to in whichever format is such an amazing thing in itself. So I just took advantage of that. And there's so many things that come out of it when you just don't plan and you just go for it and you just, I don't know, you just bury yourself in the work, and I don't know.
I've had a big journey of just self-learning and just being aware of just figuring out who I am. And I think everyone has, but for me specifically, that's just been a very personal journey. I think if fame did happen for me, it would be a downfall of just my kind of journey, because I think just hearing, because I watched a lot of celebrity interviews, and just
they hate it.
Yeah, they absolutely hate it, and I know just who I am as a person. If I ever got to that point, I would absolutely despise it. Yeah. Like, I'm quite a solitary person. I like the comfort of my own being and just being by myself. Not all the time, but like, you know,
being by myself.
I get tired when I'm with a group of people. I get tired very quickly because I'm so I bounce energy off other people. So after a while, I just have a bit of a come down, and I'm really tired. So yeah, I don't know. I'm loving the journey that I'm having right now. Just learning who I am and where I want to be, and I know every experience that I kind of go for will be a challenge, and it will be something that I will I know I will learn something about myself in every opportunity. So I'm more than happy for that to be my kind of end goal, and just kind of learn, just constantly learn. It's like, I think being creative and being in this industry is the best excuse to just learn about yourself and just constantly fail, but I don't know, just...
Yeah, that's the fun part, not the end. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just figuring out who you actually are as a person, how you work, and what you kind of want to do.
And also being happy with that, and not pinning your whole happiness on the big job at the end.
Yeah, 100%.
A huge theme that I'm exploring at the moment with the College of Deviant Behaviour is, and I think it's because of my journey into what this is, having quit work and trying to make this thing happen, whatever this is, but centralised around this magazine, is this idea of being an artist and what that means, and what it's like funding that. And we've spoke about this before, and we spoke earlier, and you're talking about how you're in quite a secure place. I don't know if it's always been that way, but it's a deviant act to be an artist. It just is, because we would do this if we weren't getting paid. But there's value in it, and we should be getting paid.
For sure.
That's often why we get exploited as artists, because we would do this anyway. They know that. I would make my films anyway, so why would they give me any money? But there's value in it, and it's really important that we pay artists. And for me, my big thing, and I keep saying this on this channel, and I'll keep saying it in the magazine, is the best way to support artists is to pay them. That's hands down, give them money. That's what I want to do. That's my end goal, is to have money to pay artists.
Where's my money then?
I know. I don't have any right
kind
now.
Kind of awkward, isn't that?
You're I thought I was getting paid for this. So like while I don't have money, I'm trying to do everything else, which
Yeah.
is spotlight artists, encourage them, support them, create stuff with them.
Yeah, it's a brilliant thing you're doing.
But eventually I want to pay them, because that's the only way it's sustainable to live, because that's the world that we're in. So what do you just think about that in general, and maybe if you've got some personal experience of just what it's been like funding and taking the leap to be an artist, or even just go to uni to do it, knowing that it's not a secure job?
I mean, I'm all for it because life is too short, and my mentality is spend your money and spend your time doing on what you love, because that money will eventually come back to you. Like, money is like it's going to come to you no matter what you do. Like, there will always be money around. So I think as long as you spend your time doing something that you love, it will, I don't know, whatever you give will always come back. And that's kind of my mentality.
And I agree with that. Sorry to cut you off, but I think as well, if what you love is administration, go and get paid to do that.
100%, yeah. Like, if with my part-time job, like, if you love, you know, delivering burgers, you do that. You live your life to the fullest. But for me, it's just something to earn money on the side, just so I don't starve and die. But you know, I'm lucky to be in a position where it's flexible enough that if I wanted to take a day off to do something creative, then I have that. You know, not a lot of people do, but that's what makes it work really well for me. But I'm completely all for it.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know. It'd be strange if I wasn't. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, this is my favourite question to ask because I foresee the future and see us looking back at this and just like this being a fun question to listen back to. Where do you want to go? What's the goal here? What's some of, it doesn't have to be the one, but like when I ask that question, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Like, where do you want to be?
I kind of just want to be known for my work, whatever it may be. It could be my own, it could be collaboration with other people, it could be whatever. But as long as I'm making something that is impactful for people of specifically my colour, because I think there's a lot of people in my community that don't get to go into the industry that I am in. It is very oppressed and restricted, and I would want to hopefully represent that kind of community for sure. But also just as long as I'm having fun and doing what I do best, you know, which is just having a laugh and just making work and just meeting people, I'm happy. I don't really have a big goal. You know, I don't have fame or, you know, a massive, like, you know, specific point that I want to achieve. I'm just happy where I am, and I'm happy where I'm going, and you know, I'd rather live in the moment than plan my future.
That sounds so healthy.
Yeah. I find,
really good place to be.
I find if I set myself an end goal, it would be too detrimental to my mental health, because I'd be fixating on this point that I want to get to, and I know I can't, and I don't know, there's something kind of unhealthy about that.
Battle in the air. I know, I legit. No, I don't even know if I did. You can just hold it. It took a turn for the worst.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Slowing it down.
I'm still on the platform because I'm saying.
I do want to say one topic though that you could probably cut into.
Go on.
Okay, so one of the I want to say life-changing, but not exactly that, but something that was very important to me during the night school was making that poem. And it was 4 passages of my life. The stimulus was what's your story? And that really spoke to me, because my story I don't really have a story other than my journey, and that is very unique to me. And it's just something that I knew that no one could really relate to, but something that I've gone through personally that needs to be spoken about, because people in my community and people that I've grown up with have also gone through the same situation. And I've not really come to terms with that. I've not really come to terms with like what I've kind of been through and my life journey and just anything of that sort. And I think that that needs to be kind of spoken about. Hopefully in the future, I'll be able to make something of that sort. That is my plan. But I'm just very fortunate and happy that I was able to write something because of the stimulus that you gave, because I would have never come to terms or accepted that that was my journey, and to kind of be almost proud of it in the weirdest way, but without going too deep, yeah, I'm just very thankful of that kind of experience, yeah.